think I come in at a good transition between the last two panels, and perhaps I wore the right color, especially after the green discussion that we all just had here. Let me start by thanking the organizers really for inviting me to be here with every one of you. And like I said, my role here is going to tie what the last two conversations have been about, and hopefully by the end of it all, Ayuk does not dismiss me as a politician like he did to the previous panelists he was with. Cities around the world continue to grow as the demand for convenience and service efficiency from city dwellers continue to increase. For example, when you look at Africa's urbanization rate, which is projected to soar to 60% by 2050 from 40% in 2010. Cities in developing countries such as Rwanda are developing at an exponential rate where for every 1% increase in GDP, there's a 0.8% increase in energy demand. And the reason I say my remarks are going to tie the last previous panels and conversations, I want to emphasize the role of meaningful partnerships. We did hear a big percentage of Africans that do not have access to energy and also clean cooking methods. According to data published by the World Bank, the GDP, even just giving an example of Rwanda, where our GDP grew from 9.5% in 2019 and 10.9% in 2021, despite the effects of the pandemic. And hence, that is also a reflection on the increase in energy demand that we continue to see. This surge in global energy consumption patterns poses a threat to our economies, including environmental degradation. And this growth requires new and sustainable ways of looking at energy sourcing to satisfy the incredible growth powered by digital technologies and innovation that will enable decision makers to mitigate and even possibly reverse the trends through energy efficiency, tools, data, and mechanisms for a resilient world without depleting resources of the earth. I want to thank Portugal, which has really set an example by committing to be carbon neutral by 2050, we heard from the previous panel. And this is against the goals of the world, where we're expected to reach net zero by 2057. And it's of paramount importance that technology and data are at the epicenter of innovation towards a more sustainable future for energy sourcing and resilient consideration for climate change. The reduction of CO2 emissions is and should remain the main concern of every country if we want to preserve the future of our planet and generations that will inherit it. I don't know if any of you caught the tagline here, which was, if Europe needs to decarbonize and Africa needs to industrialize, what can we do together to achieve those objectives? With the global effort to accelerate energy transition, the industry seems to be moving faster than policy, which is creating friction between what's possible in terms of technological innovations and how policy enables both growth and sustainability. We must be in a position to co-design policies with the industry, policies that are forward-thinking and adaptive to the ever-evolving technology trends. AI and machine learning technologies have unlocked enormous opportunities of doing things in a way that has not been thought possible before, and we must leverage this opportunity to accelerate our AI adoption, even at a governance level, and to ensure that the energy infrastructure is equipped with high-tech intelligence and automation to ensure a considerate management of energy resources. We cannot talk about energy transition without mentioning the importance of a greater resource and need with a green footprint. We need to adopt circularity as the key enabler towards an innovation-led greener future, empowered by the latest advances in renewable energy such as solar, wind, and hydrogen. The transition towards a greener energy production is going to be catalyzed by advances in energy storage technologies and continuous improvement of battery capabilities. The recent introduction of sodium-ion batteries marked just yet another milestone in energy transition, cutting the cost of energy production by half and making dependent products such as electric cars, just to mention few, more affordable going forward. This shows that we are looking at a future that embraces continuous improvement that will accelerate a faster transition into a greener energy era, which we seem to be reaching much sooner thanks to digital transformation. Climate change being a global challenge that requires an integrated global response with the principle of common but differentiated responsibility and respective capabilities, mitigation measures need to be implemented through digital transformation, especially in limiting the temperature rise using solutions to constantly monitor pollution emission rates and keep the decision makers informed and ready to trigger adequate action. Reduction of forest productivity due to drought and extreme climate events such as wind throws, floods, landslides, fires that might lead to clearing of a forest, which impact the rainfall decline due to erratic precipitation. Floods, landslides, and fires can be monitored using technologies such as AI, sensors, drones, providing accurate data that will enforce timely response. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, I conclude by urging each and every one of us in our different capacities as we think about meaningful partnerships to embrace digital transformation in our various endeavors to create a climate-resilient world for the benefits that we all know. I thank you very much.